I went into my parents' basement and I gathered up some of my old paintings, which, as some of you may know, growing up, I was definitely an artistic kid. I did drawing, painting, writing, you name it. But when I look at these paintings, which let me show you, honestly, when I see them, I don't really consider them art, which might sound kind of weird, right? You see a painting, that's art, right? That's the kind of stuff that you see hanging in museums or not not my paintings for sure, but that's art, right? But when I think about what art means to me, it's not about the product or the outcome. I really view art as a vehicle, a vessel for self expression, right? To channel your thoughts, feelings, and experiences into something, to share with somebody else, to connect with somebody else because they feel, they think, they experience, right? It's shared. But when I look at my art, if you want to call it that, right? I don't get any of that. I don't feel anything. I don't think of anything. I don't experience anything because, quite honestly, I was just going through the motions when I was painting these, right? It's not like I was painting these from memory or whatnot. I had an image in front of me, right? And I was just trying to emulate it as best as I could, right? Sure, I maybe, you know, use some of my own color choices or, made some little tweaks here and there, but nothing really major, nothing really that spoke to who I am as a person. It's like the kind of equivalent of, I guess, what AI does for creating these days, right? It just spits out an output when you give it an input, and there's not even a dash really of personality or connection to it. Like it makes sense, but you don't feel anything, right? And I bring all this up because this was, I guess, like a later stage of my artistic journey, if you want to call it that, right? It started out as me just, and I wish I could find some old drawings and whatnot, but it started out with me just, writing short stories or sketching in a notepad after school and whatnot, just for the sheer joy of it. But once I got into a more organized setting, like a class and whatever, it took that away from me. It was more focused on, I guess, technique and being able to produce rather than the process or the enjoyment of it. And I actually lost touch of that, right? I lost touch of that childhood joy or innocence when it came to creating. And I, like many people, associate this as art, right? And interestingly enough, my senior year of college, when I had more free time, I literally bought an entire oil painting set to try and get back into painting, to get into creating again, but I literally opened that set twice maybe before I donated it. And oftentimes I wonder why that was the case, right? If I was an artist, a creative, then why was I just unable, unwilling to pick up the brush and paint again? And what I've realized from that experience is that, again, art is all about expressing yourself. And I had a harder time expressing myself in this medium than I did with other ones, right? For me now, I've realized that I am the most creative, I am the most artistic, whatever you want to call it, when I'm writing, whether it's my newsletter or in journaling, when it's in conversation with, a stranger or a friend, when I'm crafting a conversation in a way where we're able to share our experience, our thoughts, our feelings in a way that forms a connection, or when it's making these videos, right? These videos are a direct means for me to express my truest self. And that's when I feel the most creative. I don't have any sort of hesitation or resistance or qualms to writing, to filming, speaking, whatever. But I do when it comes to painting and whatnot. And I say also say that whatever you might have done when you were a kid that was considered creative or conventionally creative, it may not be the vehicle for you, right? Because at the end of the day, if art, creativity is about expressing yourself, then the vehicle isn't what matters. You can get in, you know, a car, you can ride a bike, you can ride a scooter or a wagon, different vehicles, but all for the purpose of expressing yourself. You just have to find the one that resonates most with you. Because it's not about the product you're creating, it's about expressing yourself and your journey. And we can all do more of that because so many people in this day and age, especially, not to be a boomer, but with these, metal tablets that we keep in our pockets, we're disconnected from our true selves. And the only remedy to combat all of that is to start by expressing ourselves again in whatever way, shape, or form. You just have to start. So I felt compelled to talk about just my thoughts on creativity and art because I don't know, I'm just tired of hearing people say, or rather, not tired, I am tired. I'm frustrated whenever I hear someone say that they're not creative, that they're not able to produce art. We all are. We're all capable. So at the end of the day, it's all about expressing ourselves. And there's no one better to do that than you.